Hello, Modern Drivers. My name is Bob Smith, and I'm the Equipment Director with Modern Transportation. I'd like to take a few minutes today to talk about a very important safety campaign that Modern is rolling out during the fourth quarter of this year concerning wheel end safety and tire blowouts. In the last 2 weeks, you should have seen a video from our president, Patrick Cousins, where Patrick introduced this very important safety campaign. What I'd like to do today is emphasize some of the specific things that you can do as a modern professional driver to ensure that our wheels ends are always in safe condition and that our tires are as ready as we can possibly make them for a safe day. Hopefully, by utilizing these techniques, you will be able to come home safe tonight to your families and loved ones. Okay, drivers, when you approach any set of duals on your piece of equipment, here's a few things that we want to make sure you keep in mind and that we're checking. Number one, the lug nut indicators. Every modern vehicle should be equipped with lug nut indicators that indicate that after the wheel is professionally installed, properly torqued, that the lug nut indicators all face the same direction. If you ever see a wheel end where the lug nut indicators are not all facing the same direction, you should write that up on your DVIR, report it to a maintenance professional. That condition needs to be addressed. Another thing to check for is proper lubrication in the wheel end. The bearings and the axle needs to be lubricated in order to stay on the vehicle. The way that you can make sure that that is proper is by looking at this hub oil level. A lot of our vehicles have a clear sight glass in the hubcap where you can see that oil level. Sometimes the sight glass is weathered and it's opaque, or sometimes it's just a solid hubcap with no sight glass in it. That's okay. When that condition exists, you've simply got to remove the hubcap and you've got to inspect the level of oil that is in that hub. Regarding tire inspection, you want to just stand back and look at the tires. Notice the sidewall. Is there any cuts? Is there any bulges? Anything like these light marks are okay, but anything that gets into the actual cord of the sidewall or any reinforcement plies in the tire, that tire has to be removed from service. Regarding the tread, our minimum tread depth per the DOT is 2/32 of an inch. Any tire found below 2/32 of an inch needs to be replaced before operation. Another thing to look for besides the tread depth is for any evidence of foreign material in the tread. Nails, bolts, small screws, you name it, we find it in our tires. It is very important to inspect the entire tire, the whole circumference, both the inside tire and the outside tire, looking for any type of foreign matter, any type of object that could cause injury and cause the tire to leak air. Another thing to do is look on the inside of the wheel end, looking directly into the brake drum area. This allows you to look for any evidence of oil or grease leakage inside the drum, and then also on the inside tire sidewall. If you're doing your pre-trip or post-trip at night, you've got to have a flashlight to properly inspect that oil level from the inside of the tire. Okay, driver, here's a little bit different style of wheel end. Check the proper level. Checking the oil level in the cap to make sure that it's clean and there's no evidence of oil contamination. If there's ever, the oil should always be dark and pure. If it's ever milky, that's a sure sign that there's water that has been introduced into the hub. And again, that's a condition that you need to report and needs to be addressed by a maintenance professional. Regarding just a little bit more about tread depth inspection, I want to point out a few features that every modern tire every tire manufactured really has with regard to how you know when it's reached the legal limit of 2/32 of an inch for a trailer position or 4/32 of an inch for a steer tire. Each tire, and this tire is worn out, as you can clearly see, but each tire has a wear bar. These wear bars are something that is molded into the rubber, and in this instance, you would measure the tire either on the front side of the wear bar or the back side of the wear bar. Right on top of the wear bar, that is the point at which 2/32 of an inch and where that tire needs to be pulled for because it's no longer legal. This tire is well beyond its pull point. There's many points in the major tread grooves. There is 4 major tread grooves in this tire. There are many points in the major tread grooves of this tire that are well below 2/32 of an inch. Okay, drivers, a few more comments about tire pressure. Modern standard for dual tire inflation is 105 psi. On a wide base or super single tire, the standard tire pressure is 120 psi. Any tire found below 80% of those inflation pressures, or 84 psi on a dual tire, or 96 psi on a wide base super single tire, should be pulled and inspected. Never air up tires that have been found on a vehicle below that 80% recommended inflation pressure. Those tires need to be written up and pulled for inspection by a tire professional. Some of you may have been taught different methods of checking for your tire inflation. I've seen the kick method. I've seen the thump method, where drivers will strike the tire. If you ever feel any of your tires are not inflated to the proper pressure, please use your terminal's tire gauge or follow your terminal's breakdown procedures to get this corrected immediately. Okay, drivers, in closing, I want to thank you very much for your attention today. Today we reviewed some best practices regarding proper wheel end and tire inspection procedures that you need to perform during your pre- and post-trip inspections. This video is the second video in a series of 7 videos that you will see during the 4th quarter of this year, emphasizing this very critical topic of wheel end safety and preventing tire blowouts. Hopefully, some of the practices you witnessed today and some of the demonstrations I provided will help you to get home safe tonight.